Pseudo-apologies. Learnt from the reading Shifting Identification, A Theory of Apologies and Pseudo-apologies by Josh M. Bentley. The agenda for today. But quickly, this is what a genuine apology is. And a genuine apology can be really healing and it can provide a lot of closure to victims. And as well, this is how it affects the relationships with stakeholders involved. So, what is a pseudo apology then? So, it's vague, it lacks specific details about the offense and its impact. It shifts the focus away from the offender by using passive language and downplays their own role. Conditional, it implies that the offense was justifiable or acceptable under certain circumstances. It blames victims, casts doubt on whether the victim truly suffered harm. It downplays the severity of the impact of their actions. They apologize to the wrong party or they apologize for the wrong offense, deflecting responsibility by addressing a different or lesser offense, thereby avoiding accountability. And as well, there's superficial empathy. So they use the phrase, I'm sorry, without genuine remorse, or the I'm sorry is followed by a but or an if. And this is how it affects relationships. So it allows the offender to distance themselves from offenses and victims while appeasing parties that expect an apology. But why? If you're a regular person, you shouldn't do it. But if you're a famous media professional, there are actually many reasons you would do this. It's quite strategic. For example, your reputation, you need to protect it if you're famous. So it allows people to appear apologetic without fully accepting fault or responsibility for the offense. It prevents legal liability and protects them from consequences or liabilities. As well, by employing a pseudo apology, the figure can attempt to cater to the sensitivities of various audiences while avoiding complete alignment with any specific viewpoint. This allows them to navigate the complex landscapes of differing opinions within their fan base, supporter groups, or stakeholders, preventing potential backlash. So, a simple example is Rush, and this is where a pseudo apology worked. So, basically, he shamed this young woman, Fluke, who was campaigning for contraceptive coverage, and there was outcry. He lost a lot of revenue and was pulled off many stations, so he issued a pseudo apology. He acknowledged his choice of words, but used this opportunity to criticize his political opponents and Fluke again. So he got his advertisers back and everything went back to normal. And this apology was strategic and it worked. He was able to distance himself from the offense without aligning with Fluke, and it catered to his conservative audience who would have probably disapproved of his language while still opposing Fluke's stance. So this was an example where it was quite effective and it worked. And this is a quote that I've chosen that I feel like really encapsulates pseudo apology and how it relates to public personas. And a complex example where this didn't work. So Ashton and Mila wrote a character reference for Danny Masterson after he had been convicted for drugging and raping two women. And their apology was a pseudo apology because they felt that they were justified because it was only ever meant for the eyes of the judge and because they were asked to by the Masterson's family. So it was conditional and it was vague. They never actually addressed the issues and the issue was them sending the letter and vouching for a rapist and also saying that he was anti-drug, and he was convicted of drugging. So, and as well, the sorry was followed by an if, and they only said sorry once, so it wasn't very genuine. So this is a pseudo apology, and it serves as an explanation rather than a genuine apology to the victim. And this really didn't work because it's a massive conflict of their image. At the time, Ashton was serving as a chairman of Thorn, which is a group that fights child sex abuse. Mila, as well, has shared her support for sex abuse victims and has called herself a feminist many times. And it's such an incredibly sensitive and serious case that this pseudo apology feels like a complete betrayal. The authenticity cuts deep because they have created this image for themselves that seems like at this point a lie. So the public expectation is that they would support victims 100%, never write the letters, and issue a genuine apology, which didn't happen. So this is the summary, and this is my question. And thank you so much for your time today.